cares what's actually behind your name anymore. It's actually it's a relief a little bit. It doesn't matter. And I think, but people, it's hard because they've spent all this time to do that. It's hard to feel like, okay, I give it up and now I don't have that. But you have so much more. So Kris, you think about people come into this and they've been trained in something or they have this big title and now I'm going to be sort of owner operator of business. You have to shift your mindset too. If you're thinking about becoming a business owner, you're moving away from corporate. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, right. Moving into something completely new, whether it's a new franchise or anything else. But in this context, we're talking about buying a franchise. You start to realize how irrationally we build our self-identity. You didn't know how important your master's, your MBA behind your name was. You didn't realize how important your title was. In fact, you might have fooled yourself for years thinking, I don't care about titles at all. And you can believe that until it's time to actually leave all that behind and just become owner. That's it. Yeah, right? And then all of a sudden, it hits in places you didn't expect it to hit, and it can shake people. My advice for those folks would be, you got to remember why you bought the business, why you started the business. And listen, anytime you make a big leap like this, there's two forces up. There's the things pulling you towards that new life you're trying to build, right? The freedom, control of your own destiny, whatever those positive forces that are pulling you. But there's also forces that are pushing you away from your status quo, right? Whether it was not being appreciated at work or the realization of how insecure corporate life really is, and 1,000 other things that we hear every day. You got to remember what those things were that pushed you to do something so drastically new. And you have to remember that your titles, your credentials, they didn't satisfy. That's why you made the move. So why are we hanging on, right? Why?
Yeah.
You gotta be brave enough to let go.
It's a hard one. And coming from me, so, looking at my career path, so I was a pharmacist and I got a doctorate in pharmacy, right? So there was no way for me to do that job without it. But I went back and got an MBA because I thought I needed that checkbox, not because I needed the knowledge to get there. The checkbox on my resume to then get me into more of a business-like position in the healthcare space. And now I'm like, it doesn't matter. Owning franchises, it doesn't matter. And so you don't have to work towards that credential or that title. That's the great thing is I have all these transferable skill sets that I've learned out in the real world. And now I become call yourself CEO if you want. CEO and owner of this company, right? COO, you got every title and it doesn't matter because you're leading that ship. And no one cares what's actually behind your name anymore. It's actually it's a relief a little bit. It doesn't matter. And, I think, but people, it's hard because they've spent all this time to do that. It's hard to feel like, okay, I give it up and now I don't have that. But you have so much more. And I think that's what people really need to realize.
Can I ask you, because I would think a great example. So you have a doctorate in pharmacy or pharmacological studies, and then you moved from that and became an owner, but of a residential cleaning franchise.
Yeah.
Something that, there are people that are in that industry that have no schooling.
Yeah.
No credentials, right? Was that hard for you?
A little bit. I have to tell you, we talk to our clients a lot about the social status piece and, is this what you're going to do? And I think at the time, it really, for us, it came down to how much money did we have? How much could we invest? Did we want to start? And we started so much earlier than anyone else. We started looking at franchises when we were 29, 30 years old. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty young to get into it. But at the same time, we weren't going to have this ton of money to invest. And so we looked at it as doing it in addition to what I had. So I kept my pharmacy job. Dave started the franchise, but you had to get over that. This is what I was doing. But at the same time, I'd go out and tell people, I own a business already. Now, like, you own a business in addition to working? Yeah, I do. And then sort of built it from there. Does it take a little bit to get over it? Yes, it's a challenge. But then when you see the outcome of the end of what you've built, and then you're able to sell that and buy another business and build that next one, like, that's the value of it. And we've learned so much along the way. More than I did in the other aspects, the other career paths I took.